Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Fix This Build That Sunday Night Live Show. I'm Brad.
And I'm Susan.
And today we're going to be talking about the new video that we just launched, which is the floating shelves with a little secret involved. So you have to go check the video out. If you've not seen it already, it just came out today. And there's some electronics in there involved. And you guys have probably already seen me teasing it, and they're 3 big maple shelves, part of our office renovation, and it's getting great feedback so far. So we're really happy with that, and they look awesome in the office. It's like the difference. We were really sitting back and looking at it versus where it had come from. We were like, this really looks good.
It's come a long way.
So office renovation part 2. Floating shelves, and it's about folded miters. That's how I made them, with some maple plywood, birch plywood, and it really looks awesome. Go check out the video if you haven't already. So we'd love to hear your questions and comments about that, so make sure you're hitting them down in there. And I don't know, what else do we have? This week we're going to be hot and heavy. We're going to be really doing a lot of stuff between now and the end of the year. It's kind of the fourth quarter crunch is what happens in content creation every year. That's kind of what we do.
It's not like we don't know it's coming, but then you kind of see like, oh, we have like Thanksgiving, and it gets busy real quick.
It gets busy real quick.
That's
but,
all right.
But that's okay.
It's a good busy.
Because we like busy. We need busy.
We do, for sure.
I am just opening up the chat here so I can see everybody that's here. We got a lot of people here.
We're a few minutes late because we were
watching the Rams, the Titans and the Rams. Titans scored on a nice little bootleg, naked bootleg as they call it. Naked bootleg. Because he's got no blockers in front of him.
Oh.
So he's naked. If somebody knows what's coming, he's toast.
Yeah, they didn't though.
But they did not.
Spoiler.
So go Titans. All right, awesome. Well, before we jump into it, I do want to thank a few members who joined the Builders Club this week, and those would be Elizabeth Carlsen, Steve Gibson, George Conley. I said George Clooney. George Clooney, you were George.
I wonder if he gets that a lot.
Come join us as well. We would love to have you. And Greg Barneycastle. So thank you so much to those folks for joining the Builders Club. If you're not familiar with it, it's just a way to support the channel and be in the inner circle of the Fix This Build That audience, meaning you get sneak peeks of the projects coming out, early releases, which they got yesterday, even though they're typically late because we're working on them very late, but they did get that release yesterday.
As early as we can manage.
That's right. Free plans and credits in the lives as well as in the actual videos. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. fixthisbuildthat.com/Builders Club. And a big thank you to all those folks from the Builders Club that are here in the live today.
That's right.
All right. Awesome. And it's just like we're getting everything set up. So it's like I feel like everything's kind of out of whack.
A little bit, yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. It's good. Let's see here. Okay, I'm coming over here. So now let's see who we.
I should start off by apologizing if I'm yawning the whole time. I am tired.
Susan
folks.
always yawns.
No, but like really tired. I think it's daylight savings time. Like I think it's getting me. But that's all right.
Katie, I just scrolled back up to the top. And I wonder if people jumped in early for daylight savings. Big Willie's Garage is like,
maybe.
What's going on? It's called daylight savings, my man.
Yeah, it feels like it's midnight to me.
It does.
But it's not.
It does. Katie's internet has been out all day, but she's got cellular, and she's sending the super chat early.
Oh, yay, Katie.
Go! I love it.
That's awesome. I need that kind of energy right now.
Awesome, Katie. Awesome. Let's see here. Who else do we have? We got Philip, we got Will, we got Katie, we got Ryan, Animation Creations. What's up, my man? Got a new camera, cool. Alan Isaac, we got Daniel Pikes, we've got Dennis Miko, Travis. Oh, Travis, are you back from the game? I know Travis said in the comment on the video, he said, I'm going to the Packers Chiefs game. We didn't even watch, so who won?
No, we don't.
Let us know.
We were out watching hockey.
Rico B TV, and we got a lot of regulars here, and James McIntyre. And if I missed anybody else, sorry about that. But we did not forget about the live show.
And
Ryan was like,
popped in.
Ryan was like, hey, did you forget about the show?
Oh, no.
And Tyrone and Brian Farth. But we also did not forget about.
I remembered.
The beer of the week.
Beer of the week.
PBR me ASAP.
Beer of the week.
We have Pabst, the Blue Ribbon. I should have called it Blue Ribbon beer, better known as PBR.
This is what I remember from my childhood. Not that I was drinking this. I remember the commercials on TV. Like I remember there was like a round
Pabst
light
Blue
up.
Ribbon beer.
Like
Nature's choicest products.
Nature's choicest
provides
what?
its prized flavor. Only the finest of hops and grains are used,
Only the
selected
finest.
as America's best. in 1893.
Established in Milwaukee. My whole family's from Milwaukee.
Like this. It says selected as America's best in 1893. Like they won an award over a century ago, and that's all. That's
I think
what
they're trying to, like, they're humble bragging for that old.
Yeah, that's what they're going
But look
with.
at the back. It's cool. They've got like
you got
a
the same
little.
one? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's got this
anyway,
cool, what would you even call
compliments.
that?
I don't know. It's like art.
Oh no, Ashley Dreyfus is the winner of. There was a PBR art competition, competition. Anyway.
So big thank you to Will, Big Willie's Garage, for the super chat.
Hang on, whoa.
With the PBR.
We need to do this at the same time. It has been.
The 16
I don't know if
ounces.
I've ever had it, honestly.
Tall boy can.
It smells like beer.
Tastes like beer.
It's kind of sweet.
It actually tastes better than I remember.
Yeah, it's kind of like. I could see why people like it, like, because it doesn't.
It's good.
It doesn't taste bad.
That's good.
We should do a blind taste test of this and Natty Light and Bud Light and see if
I
you
could tell
can.
Bud Light.
He says
For sure.
this. He probably could, but
sure.
I mean,
Yeah, sorry.
it's pretty
All
good.
right, let's hear it. Tyrone
I
said,
don't dislike it.
Brad, talk slowly. Got new glasses. I'm not sure. Are you lip reading,
What?
Tyrone? Is that what's going
What
on?
is that? Yeah, that's awesome.
I hope not. I'd be like the worst person to lip read.
Oh my gosh,
'cause I talk
that
so
Brad
fast
is
and
a.
like slurring
You're
my
like
words.
you're like part auctioneer.
I know. I talk so fast.
He talks fast and he watches a lot of videos on high speed and podcasts and all that. So I go in there and my brain hurts when I'm hearing him like listening.
I
to
love
things.
watching.
It's
Do you?
like,
So what?
it's
So
fast.
how many of the folks here watch YouTube videos at non-standard speeds?
Oh, yeah.
Different than 1x. Because I have like you can actually in the YouTube app, both on the mobile as well as desktop, you can do 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, or 2.
I still remember when you discovered
Two-speed.
that, you were so excited.
Right, but then I also have a plugin.
Well,
So
that's what
I've got
the plugin. Yeah.
I got a plugin that allows me to speed up video. And by the way, don't do this when you're watching my video. Watch my videos at 0.75. It's more watch time. But if
you would sound like you were intoxicated at that speed.
if I'm watching informational, if I'm watching informational videos, I always watch them on higher speed because, like, where it's just like a talking head type thing. If I'm watching somebody like Peter McKinnon or something like that, like I'm going to watch them at normal speed because I enjoy the production.
Right.
Versus like a lot of these other ones, I'm just trying to get the information. So I'm like, come on, just and yeah. So I typically watch it.
Brad's got no time. He's got no time.
I just like once you get into it, everything like you can't watch it at 1x. Once you watch it like 2x,
you could.
1x,
you could not. But I will say,
it's just too much.
I think once you've been making your own videos for a while, like I will speak on your behalf here.
Sure.
Like
go for it.
Brad does try to get right down to it a lot. Like, I mean, there's an intro on the videos and stuff.
We're still on the PBR, by the way.
Whoops, yeah.
PBR.
Sorry.
There you go.
Lots of beer here. But like, I mean, you have an intro and everything, but rarely will you ever see Brad just waxing poetic in a video. He wants to like get to the action,
cut to the chase,
because that's what people want to see. We think, And so when we're watching any type of informational video or anything like that, where they're just droning on and on, I think your tolerance level for that is lower.
It's very low.
Probably.
Very low.
Than before, than pre. YouTube video making.
Yes. Brian Farth, first weekend as a homeowner. Congratulations,
Ooh,
Brian.
that's exciting, Brian.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
What's the first project in the new house? Let us know.
Yeah, tell us.
Hopefully it's setting up shop.
What do you think it would be? What would be the first project in the new
Well,
house?
our first project in this house was garage shelving.
Oh gosh,
So it depends upon what the house is, has.
It was garage shelving.
Typically most new homeowners, the very first project is almost always painting.
Yeah.
Paint is always
True.
numero uno because you come in and
refinishing floors or something before you
if
move
you
in.
are going to do it before you move in. But once you've moved in, paint.
Right.
Always paint. Paint, and then number 2 is lighting.
Oh, you sound like you really know this.
I mean, I do.
He does.
Like I've done it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like I watch HGTV. Come on.
May I recommend
because those are like the
to
cheapest.
you-
Those are the 2 cheapest upgrades you can make to a house that'll completely change the look.
Right.
Paint and lighting.
Brian, yeah, it's true.
And fixtures.
Most impact. Brian, let me just recommend to you, if you are struggling to pick a paint color, I highly recommend Googling paint colors that you look at and finding like paint review
YouTube videos. Susan
and
went down
blog
a rabbit
posts.
hole in those
That
things,
it helped. We found great colors because otherwise you're just like looking at a bunch that's overwhelming. But if you like Google them or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of me would like to be a paint person, but I don't have a good eye for it.
You're horrible at that.
Said with such love. You're horrible at that.
We play this game. Susan and I have this game.
No, I still do this just to humor you. You know this, right?
Yes, but
you enjoy it so much.
It has started. It started
It started with a red kitchen, is what it started with.
It did. Explain.
Way back in the day, we painted a kitchen red when that was the thing to do. Like we're talking
it was
full like Tuscan, like
bright red.
It was a little. There was no review video for me to watch. But when I went and got the paint samples, I cut them all up because I don't think that they should be next to another paint sample because it throws it off.
Next to each other.
And these were like the ones they give you for free from Home Depot. I was not cutting up like a color wheel or something. So I cut them up and then I used painter's tape and I stuck them all up to a wall. And Brad.
Like dozens. I'm talking like.
So many.
20, 30, 40.
It was red paint and I didn't know what we were doing. You, in all your glory, sweep into the room. And then he's like just eliminating that, like, if he had like a cape and a pipe and a monocle or something.
A cape? Like
I don't know. Like,
you went a totally different direction. You went from superhero to like.
No, I'm talking about like you're like a fancy man that knows stuff about color. Like you were just like
it was like too light, too dark. You know, too rich.
But he was loving it.
I was.
So I do that a lot of times
what I do
now.
She'll put up all the paint colors.
I
and I'm
humor
like,
him.
No. And then you narrow it down to like 4.
And then
that
I'm
look
like,
almost exactly the
let
same.
me tell you the paint color we're going to use anyway, because I've already Googled the heck out of it.
I know.
But yeah.
All right. Helicopter.
Oh.
So.
It's disorienting.
So that's what we do.
Anyway, so yeah.
All right,
good luck to you, Brian.
Philip says he needs advice. He's making a door for a neighborhood library, and he's wondering should he use dowels or biscuits?
Do you love a library?
For sure, dowels, if those are your two choices.
Make it nice.
Because dowels do add some structure and heft. Biscuits do not. Biscuits are purely for alignment because they're just so thin, like the overlap. You know, they're long, but they do add more glue surface. So technically a doweled joint versus a biscuit joint versus a non-biscuit joint would be stronger, but it's just not nearly as much as like the dowel that actually adds, more distance and bite into each other. For sure, I would go dowels with that.
I love libraries, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, Susan is a
has nothing
library
to do with
hound.
anything. I do like libraries.
Yes.
A lot. Just so peaceful.
Katie, I'm sorry, what?
What's
first time applying caulk? How is this the first time you're applying caulk? You're like, I feel like you've just done so much. This is crazy. I'll give you two tips for my best tips for applying caulk, and one I've actually not used, but.
How have you not used a caulk tip?
Because
you've applied a lot of caulk in your day.
I know I have. Let's see here. Get one of these guys.
It's always within reach.
It is. It's wonderful.
Not always, but 90% of the time.
So I highly recommend one of these guys. If you watch my the video on the backsplash, which I'm sure you've probably watched, this is actually one of the odd pieces. There's another one that has like different size chamfers, so they're all chamfers, but it's different sizes. So this is just a little tool.
I thought you just use your finger.
Well, it gets messy if you use your finger. Yeah, so don't use your finger unless you're really so two things. The first tip is cut the hole as small as you can get it. So when you're doing caulk, the biggest issue with
of the
caulking,
tube, where it comes out.
The biggest issue with the caulking is that you put too much on, and then when you do with your finger, and it smears out the sides, and then it's a big fat mess. And it depends upon what you're doing also, because some stuff's more forgiving than others. But use that tip anyway. So make the smallest hole you can make that you can fit the little rod on your caulk gun to puncture the seal in there, and then cut it at an angle, and then sand over the top. That's another little tip.
Why?
But if you just sand the top, because like if it's pointed, it kind of drags. So if you sand it over, it's easier to get in there. And then use one of these bad boys. But the other thing I heard, I heard this from Jessie actually. She was like, oh my gosh, like all these people gave her the advice, and then she used it and said it was amazing. Is to use baby wipes.
Oh. I've heard baby wipes for a lot of things.
I've heard like ice cubes, and so to smooth it out. Don't use like what I typically do, and even though I say this, I typically will use my finger and water and just do it.
Yep.
But if you put just a little bit, that works. If you have too much, I would use probably something like this, because this will, if you scrape it in there, it'll leave just that perfect bevel, and it will clean up the sides with these two sides here. But I've heard baby wipes. I don't know if that works or not, but one of my friends was raving about that when she asked for advice. So there you go.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
All right.
It does seem like it would be a sad. I have not done it
because
this been always. Oh, yep.
Although today he's raking leaves. T-Hub.
Tis the season.
Walnut, do it.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Taylor.
Scott Walsh, how's it going? Yeah, Taylor, I wanted to do the floating shelves in walnut, but it just didn't. Everything was light. You know, we're going for like a light, airy, modern look in there. We are. I would love the walnut, but
not that much though. This is all pretty light too.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just talking like the rest of our house is mostly darker woods. But
True.
Sorry, just tucking my shirt in.
It looked more modern and looked good with the
and it
wall
matched
color.
the top in because I bailed out on the top. If I had done walnut for the top on the other, then I would have done it. But
yeah, no.
It's also like
I think it looks really good.
It's easier to like. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's easier to like find stuff. Like if you have a walnut table, like stuff gets lost. Like if you drop a little screw or a washer or something, it just kind of like blends in with the walnut. But on a maple, you can like see everything nicely.
I see that.
Because I've got like a lot of little parts. Like I'm doing 3D printing and stuff.
No, that makes sense.
And I'm getting old, so my side.
Getting old. Please, don't even come at me with that. Like Brad has the best senses of everything. Like eyes, ears, smell. Meanwhile, I'm falling apart over here.
Let's see here. Rico says he's just finished the floor in his office and getting ready to do an 18-foot built-in. That's awesome, dude. That's huge. All right. Who else we have? Taylor, have I ever rolled on the Halcyon or have I just foam brushed it? So Taylor's talking about the Halcyon Clear. Total Boat is a sponsor of the channel.
Have you ever rolled it on? I don't think you have.
No, I've not. But because here's the
brushy.
deal. This stuff is awesome, by the way. I love it. First of all, I love it.
I thought that bag has lasted you forever.
Oh, I've got multiple bags.
I know, but still, like, I feel like a little goes a long way.
So it does. But one thing, I love the bag. The bag is so awesome because you know how it like skins over. So, but what you can do on these is like get all the air out, which I didn't do when I put it in, and then put that on.
Oh,
and then that
for less surface area.
Less oxygen in the bag to react and oxidize and catalyze or whatever you want to call it, the actual finish in there. So this stuff is awesome. It's a marine grade finish. My Total Boat makes it, but it's super fast drying and it's thick though. So it's super thick. It's very thick versus like any other poly I've ever used. And I think that's just because it's got a lot of solids in it, which gives it more protection. And I mean, and there's obviously more solid. This is a clear gloss. So I'm like not, I can't talk technically on this, but so the more solids that you have, like typically like a gloss would have the least amount of solids, then a satin would have more solids, and then a matte would have the most solids. And that's what actually breaks up the refraction of the light coming off of the finish, and that's what that is. But even that being said, the gloss is pretty thick. That's what I mean. So I don't know if it's more solids or whatever it is, but so rolling it on. I don't know how it would go.
Wouldn't you?
No, rolling. Oh, like you would use a foam roller. You wouldn't use a nap roller.
Oh, gotcha.
So I would, if I was going to roll it on, I would definitely use a foam roller, Taylor. I've never done it. I've always just used, but I mean, it's a foam, like I use a foam brush. It'd probably be the same thing.
Yeah.
But you'd probably have to work it a lot more because it is so thick. To get it really spread out thin, you'd really need to get some good action on it, or you could possibly thin it as well. Because it says right here, brushing and rolling, apply 2 to 3 thin coats. And then it dries within an hour. That's why I love so much about it.
Yeah.
They don't even recommend to use a brush, like a foam brush. So they say you can spray it, but it can be thinned with water up to a maximum of 20%. So there you go.
All right. It's very versatile.
I've never done it, and I've never sprayed it either. I always just use the foam brush. I don't know why. I just do.
You found what worked. You stuck with it.
Exactly. And I've never sprayed it. I'm
surprised you haven't sprayed it.
I've sprayed water-based poly several times, but it's always been the polyacrylic. And I stopped using that probably a couple years ago. And then for whatever reason, like I just haven't. Did we clear coat the bookshelves? We did.
Bookshelves?
Oh, I used a can. I used a clear coat can spray, Rust-Oleum. So the bookshelf we just did. Tyler's room.
Oh, those ones, yeah. We did.
Yes. All right. No more than 3 colors at a time from my friend's paint store. That's what Dennis said. Don't do any more than 3 colors if you're picking. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Brad was Sherlock Holmes. Yes, like I'm Sherlock Holmes. I could say that. I want to like the Sherlock, the hat, whatever you call that style hat.
That hat kind?
I don't know.
It's like a. Oh shoot! I can't think of it. There's a name. We don't know.
Scott says he can't watch the live at 1.5x. No, you can't. You're stuck at one speed. And I talk fast, so that's okay. Animation creation. Never seen a pro use one of those tools. They just spit on their finger and get the job done. Yeah, that's because if you do it, that's like anything, right? Like when you see somebody who does it every single day of their life, they don't need any of these little fancy tools. They got it all down. It's all in their head and in like muscle memory, and they just put it down. And I've seen a lot of people. They don't even have to smooth it. They just get it right out of the gun. Like they can do it such a perfect, because like the tip of it, you can do it in such a way that the tip acts as the smoother.
I mean, that would be amazing, right? Like if you're doing this all the time. I'm just saying, like if you're doing a big professional job, to not have to spend the extra time to go back and do all that would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm horrible at it.
We don't do it every day.
Yeah, that's right. Let's hear. Katie is converting kitchen cabinet doors into a headboard. The cabinet doors have some significant gaps. First time using a caulk, so I've been waiting for the live before. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, that's super easy. If you're caulking cracks, like in between two things, and you're basically just flushing it up, and you're not trying to do. If you're caulking two flat surfaces, that's super easy. You just put it on and just go over the top of it. If you're at a corner, then you have to decide like how big of a bead do you want. You want to, that's where it gets a little more tricky, is when you're doing it at a 90 degree and trying to fill that gap. Mm-hmm. So doing that is easy. Just run over the top of it with like a straight edge to make it. You might have to, because sometimes like it'll dry and it'll shrink a little bit, so you may have to go over it a second time. But honestly, Katie, I'd probably use wood putty in that situation.
Just thinking that.
I'd probably use a good wood putty, because then you can sand it flush. Like you can just kind of like go heavy, sand it back flush. I mean, obviously I assume you're painting if you're going to be filling it with caulk anyway. So I would go with a wood putty, go over the top of it, sand it flush, and then paint. That'd be my recommendation. Because if they're kitchen cabinets, they're probably not going to be moving a lot. If they're already in your house or they've been acclimated to indoor, then you shouldn't have to worry too much about it moving and opening up the gaps.
Right.
Let's see who we have. Will, beautiful day. In upcoming week, might put the Christmas decorations up.
Oh man.
We just took down the Halloween, but that means
is
Christmas
officially
is
down
right around the corner.
Put away. But yeah, no, I try to wait, but it'll be up before Thanksgiving, because it's such a short period of time to have Christmas up then otherwise.
It is. Taylor, it's a solid finish, man. I mean, like solid, and it's a really nice finish. It is much more durable. The Halcyon, it appears to be much more durable, and just from use. So I've got it on. These all have it, and it's also one thing that I've noticed actually. So depending upon if you want to, it's great for maple, because it does not. Even though I just like went 3 tangents. Let me finish one thought. If you use it on maple, it yellows it much less even than like a polyacrylic. So you can get amber, and they actually even make an amber. You can get amber where it's like an oil-based look, or you can get water-based. But it is one of the clearest, least yellowing it is the clearest, least yellowing water-based polyurethane finish I've ever used, which I like, because I don't like.
You just don't like it yellowed.
I don't like it yellowed. So you can see like how these are so bright. I mean, no, it's like the light's coming on them, so it looks like super
bright.
bleached
They're not
out, but it's not
yellow.
Yeah, like if you saw some other drawers or things that I've done in other projects, they're much more yellowed out than that. So it's a good finish that way.
Looking around too.
Yes.
Too much Baltic merch.
Scott, the show 30 minutes. What? We'll let Scott know, Katie, when he comes on. Scott, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. He says, I think your humor shone through better than ever. Like the jig. That's just Brad. Yeah, it's just normal life. All the stuff. Yes. You guys would be horrified if I left in half of the stuff that we don't show. Like, all those little bloopers and ridiculousness. Yes. Taylor, I want to use. I've never used Timbermate. I want to use some. What is there, Taylor? What should we use? Is there? I know there's like different varieties. Is there a? Is Timbermate, or do they have water-based and alcohol-based? Give us the download on Timbermate, Taylor. What dries fast? Has been a much better product than the box store products. Yeah, Taylor, hit us with a link or something. Tell us like the exact stuff, because I don't know, or maybe there's just one variety. But I've heard Timbermate so many times, I've never used it. And
what is it?
Sorry, it's a wood filler.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I just started answering the question, or reading the question. But yeah, Timbermate is, I've always heard it's a very high performing, I don't know if it's high end as far as price goes. I don't know how much different it is, but that it's like the best wood filler.
You could do like a.
I've just never used
what's
it.
the best wood filler?
What's the best wood filler?
Yes.
A wood filler shootout. That would be riveting.
You would just just watch the wood filler dry.
Yeah. Let's see here. Katie found four 2-foot doors at a rehome. Ooh, I love the rehome for $8 total. That's fantastic. That is awesome. Built old coffins, sold them. What? Some skeletons. Had a I don't know what Tyrone's saying. I don't know if he's making a joke at me or
all right,
like,
I'm gonna actually try to read
like
this
a Halloween thing or what? Isaac Truss, what's up, man? Which oscillating tool do you recommend? I've looked at DeWalt Skill and Rigid Brushless. I have only really used. I've only really used the Rigid and the Dremel. The Dremel corded and the Rigid cordless. And just because I love everything cordless, the one I use the most is the Rigid cordless. So I can't compare it to the DeWalt or the Skill. But quite frankly, I think they're all great. I mean, for the most part, I think they've come so far. Like, everything is really good. I would say that I would bet that the DeWalt and the Skill are probably smaller than the Rigid one. So for that reason, I would probably recommend them. I've had the Rigid one for a while now, and it's pretty beefy as far as size goes. So if you found another one, and I was just trying to think of like how, because it's like the back end kind of sticks, the battery's like way out here, and it's kind of unwieldy at times if you're trying to like really get into some tight spots. I have seen the Skill one, I've handled it, and I had like for a demo or something, and I feel like that one was much smaller. So I would probably look at that, like look at the size differential, and obviously I'm sure there's a price differential in those. If I was going to buy one today, I would probably go with the DeWalt. I have no idea what they look like. I mean, just envisioning in my head, I feel like I've seen it before, and it's pretty compact, but I haven't physically handled it. But that's the one I would probably default, and then go do some research and make sure it gets good reviews and people like it. James, we have it. James said we need an outtakes and blooper video. I've actually had Chris. He now makes like another sequence where he puts bloopers in. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about it at one point, but then I saw. I think
we've tried it on one video. Didn't we have a video where we had like a little blooper thing on the end?
We did.
And it just, people are
at that point. Oh, you know what it was at?
They're
it was
like,
at the 1 million sub video.
Was it?
It was.
People were like, we're not interested in that. Like, videos
it didn't go over.
We out. Like,
and like a lot of people do bloopers at the end. I tried that, and it did not go well.
So we were like, it's like extra effort too. More editing, longer video.
Right. For
not a lot of payoff.
You guys know me. I try to get to the point and get out fast.
A good punch
get
there.
in and out.
Yep.
That's what I like to do.
We just laugh at the videos or the bloopers.
Let's see here. Taylor's back with some Timbermate info. He's only used water-based.
Taylor, my goodness.
Use their white, natural, and oak options. White when painting cabinets, and natural oak for birch. Oh, natural or oak for birch and oak. I mean, it seems to make sense.
Makes
Taylor.
sense, yeah.
I probably wouldn't use the birch on the oak or the oak on the birch, but you do you. 8-ounce canister versus the DAP is 50 cents more. I thought it said $50. I was like, holy crap.
I was waiting for more money than that, but you just kept going with 50 cents more. I'm like, oh my gosh, Brad.
I thought it said $50. I was like,
I thought you were going to,
for 50 cents.
Yeah, no, 50 cents more.
Please.
I would definitely try it. $50 for some wood filler it better do a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, wow, for 50 cents more, I'm buying it every day and twice on Sunday. All right. Animation Creations, not sure what's available in the US. 12-volt oscillating tools is his go-to versus the 20-volt because it's considerably smaller. I would totally agree. It fills and doesn't. I do hate that, Taylor. So he says that when the typical, so the one that I use the most, I've gone back and forth.
Again?
Yeah. Okay. So I've gone back and forth, but I do like this one. This one's pretty decent.
I always picture like Elmer's wood filler, but that
Elmer's is
do they have one too?
They do, yeah.
That's what I
That's
picture
like kind
in
of
my
the
brain.
ubiquitous one is the Elmer's.
That's
for
probably
the
why
long
I
time.
picture it.
But this is the one I've used. The DAP is the one that Taylor's talking about, I'm sure. Plastic wood, which is just the worst sounding name ever. Like, wouldn't you want to call it like real wood or like wood? Plastic wood.
I kind of get it. It's made of plastic, but it's going to be like a wood surface.
But they say, right, so it says plastic wood, looks and acts like real wood. Then why are you calling it plastic? Why on earth why would that be your tagline? Plastic wood, looks and acts like real
because
wood.
it's not wood. It's made of plastic. It's a plastic surface.
Like, why do they say, I can't believe it's not wood? I mean, like.
They'd get sued.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Too close to, I can't believe it's not butter.
Wow, it's wood. Like,
Big
I don't know.
Butter would be after the
DAP,
money.
call me up. I like DAP. DAP's a good brand. They've got some great products.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge miss on the naming of this. Plastic wood.
That's just going to go for it.
I mean, like, it's just,
Bad
I've never
name.
really thought about it until I just looked at it and thinking, like,
Well, if you never thought about it until just now, it couldn't have been that bad.
well, I don't ever look at it. I just grab it and buy it.
Again, my point.
But if I was
That
looking
kind of-
at two different ones,
that
and
really
one
helps.
was called, like,
You probably were looking at two different
real
ones
wood
when you
filler.
bought this one.
No, I wasn't. Okay, I probably was.
Plastic wood.
Still, I don't like the name. But it's a good product.
But it has nothing to do with the actual
right.
like
No.
performance of the product. The plastic wood is good.
You guys know what I mean, right? Plastic wood, come on. Don't, like, in woodworking, don't call anything plastic ever. That's like the antithesis.
It's a wood filler.
It's the antithesis, but it's not plastic. There's nothing about that that's plastic.
What is it made of?
Not plastic.
Well,
Do you think plastic dry? Is there any plastic material you've ever
I'm
seen
fully aware that plastic is not that consistency.
Are you?
Yes.
Because you just acted like your argument was like you were like,
I don't
well,
know.
it's
I'm just saying. What is it made of?
not plastic.
A bunch of chemicals. They're long.
They're not going
And
to tell.
hard to pronounce.
Oh gosh.
What?
Uh,
Silica.
That's only
I
one.
saw
Yeah.
Crystalline
Crystalline silica. Contains crystalline silica. No, they don't have
that
ingredients.
bad?
This isn't food. They don't have like an ingredient. Like,
You
I
started
don't know what I'm
reading?
doing. I know I did. I'm reading
I'm
a
not the woodworker here.
like I'm reading a freaking like they have SDS.
May
sheets.
contain.
may contain wheat, soy, and tree nuts.
Why are we finding this so funny? I don't know. Anyway, plastic wood, but it's still good. No, my
Yes.
gosh. May contain
I like that.
ridiculousness.
Plastic
Tired
wood
people.
is still good. That's what we're going. That's what we're going for the title. Plastic wood is still good. Give me some kind of timestamp so I got to grab some. Oh, there we go. 32.
10.
Yes.
10 minutes, 41
All
seconds.
right. Yes. Okay.
Noted for the records.
Noted for the records.
So what were we doing this for?
I have no idea.
You were talking about DAP versus this other one that is not plastic wood.
Yeah.
It's something
I don't know. That's all we got.
different.
We should just end it now.
We should. I could go sleep. I'm checking the score.
Scott Walsh mentioned in your video you should go deeper in electronics, and he would love to see that.
All right.
His experience on his own channel, the retention definitely didn't like electronics. Yeah, I've been dabbling. I have to see the retention on this one. It's interesting to see. So just for those who don't know, retention, what we're referring to is basically you can see the chart and how many people start to drop off because we can see that. In any video, I can pull it up.
It goes like this.
You can pull, and so what we were talking about earlier with the bloopers, what happened is when we showed the bloopers, like you could see this line, and it's like it starts at 100. You can actually go over 100 because if people rewatch it in the same viewing session, it would technically go over 100 because they could spend 15 minutes watching a 10-minute video if they rewatch certain sections. So
feel free to do that. If
but
you
anyway, it typically starts at 100, typically bombs down super fast.
real fast.
Like
People are like,
across
this is
the
what I
board.
was looking for, and then they
Right,
hop out.
autoplay and all these different
Right,
things.
right.
And then it levels off somewhere between 60 and 70, typically.
On a good day.
On a good day.
Yeah.
No, like
Usually,
at the top.
yeah.
No, I'm saying like in the first 30 seconds. And
Right,
then
right,
so it's like a hockey stick, then it comes down and then it kind of drifts. And then when you do something bad, like if you do an ad read, it comes down.
But if you put something interesting in there, it'll kind of
it'll
bump
go
up
up
because
because they
people
go back and
rewound
watch it.
to be like, what was that again? Or what did he say?
Right.
Or what
but
was that on the screen?
when we did bloopers, it was like,
Yeah.
it went off.
It went in the toilet.
Yeah. And then so electronics, they've been hit or miss.
Yeah.
But
it
we
depends
have,
on the project.
right, sometimes it goes
yeah.
up because people are like, wait,
Well,
what is he doing?
and I will say, I feel like it's been years since I've known about the whole retention thing because, we've been making these videos. But now when I'm just on YouTube for my own fun, on my own account, I feel like Big Brother's watching me. I'm like, if I'm going to rewind something, I'm like, oh man, that retention is going to, not that it matters. It's just like, it's just different.
Yeah.
Do you think about that? Like when I watch a video that's kind of
always...
sticky, and I'm like, ooh, I want to hear what they said again, or I want to see that graphic. I'm like, oh, they're doing a good job. The retention rate.
I never go back.
You don't.
2x.
You never go back.
2x.
You just watch it. That's right. That's true. Who am I asking? You're watching it on like high auctioneer speed. So
I know.
On the opposite.
Lori has a good question. She said, if your kids went trick-or-treating, what did they dress up as?
We had an army man. He is quick to point out in a real uniform. It was Brad's dad's ROTC outfit.
No,
uniform outfit.
Actually,
they didn't call it an outfit. Uniform, right?
Yes, but he was actually in the Army reserves. Like, it wasn't just ROTC. No, that was from. He was in the artillery.
Kidding, just kidding.
But he was never in active duty. He was in reserves.
I knew he did ROTC as well. That's what I remember. But yeah. So it says Rodriguez on there, so that was super cool. And then we had a Grim Reaper, like just death. Like he was the cutest little death you've ever seen. Yep. And then a cheerleader, adorable.
That was it.
She was by far cutie patootie. So
Always.
Brad and I dressed up as two tired parents that did not dress up. Every year afterward, I'm like, I see all these other like adults that did fun, witty little costumes that didn't look like they were that hard. I'm like why didn't we do that?
Because I don't want to.
Never. We never do it. Maybe
Katie,
1 year.
Preferred paint brand, we typically use Behr.
We do.
Premium Plus.
Premium Plus.
Ultra.
One level below Marquee.
Like, think about that. Like, they're talking about branding. Premium Plus. Ultra.
Ultra.
I mean, they're just like.
They're just layering them on there.
That's just like.
But then they have
I'm gonna make some paint. I'm gonna call it like awesome, amazing, epic. Mm-hmm. They just leaned in, man. They're like, let's get 3.
I feel like that would sell.
Awesome,
amazing, epic. I think with the right font and the right like packaging with that, that would sell. Awesome, amazing,
epic.
But no, we really like Behr. I think it's all in what you're used to though, because we did get. We're so funny. We just back in the day, we were not super cheap. We wanted a more affordable, high quality paint, which is why we started using Behr, right? Because we were like, we are not made of money. We're not going to Sherwin-Williams and buying their paint.
We've rarely used
Benjamin Moore or whatever.
I do use Sherwin-Williams for specialty stuff.
Like cabinets, things like that. Like they have a really good cabinet paint.
Well, but then, so this, I'm sorry, we just used the Premium Plus, not the Premium Plus Ultra.
Sorry, yeah.
So that we have used the Ultra, and I guess that's so Premium Plus.
No, we're one level. We get one level below Marquee, but wouldn't Premium Ultra Plus be like above that? Maybe there's
Marquee
a Premium
is
Ultra.
No, Marquee is the top.
I know.
There's one in between here and Marquee.
No.
Yes, they extended the product line.
Oh, they added one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, my point is, we have gotten just for
so
a regular.
So this is what we just. This was the accent wall in the dining room, as well as
everything else
the
we
wall.
painted recently. We like the color.
As well as the bookshelf and built-in desk that I did in my son's room. I actually used the same exact thing.
And the one in the office, right?
It was
Wasn't that the same one?
Yes.
Yes. It was the same color.
It was the same color, but I think it was a different.
But I was gonna say we did get Sherwin-Williams to use in a room once, like on a wall, like regular Sherwin-Williams. And it was so nice, it was like I was like, oh, I get it. It was so thick, but I almost wasn't used to having a paint quite that thick, because like the paint we use is thick, but it was just a different consistency. So I'm kind of just used to Behr. I like Behr a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the one we like.
Long answer to a short question.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Let's see here. Rico. Wanting to add a hidden door. By the way, I don't know if you ever knew this. What? My nickname in middle school.
It was not Rico.
Was Rico.
Rico?
Rico.
Why?
No idea.
Because your last name is Rodriguez?
It may have been like Rodrigo, and then it just like went to Rico.
Huh.
It was.
Well, it's middle school.
There's this kid.
Never know.
There's a kid. He was like this just tank of a man child in middle school.
Whoa.
His name was Free Williams.
What?
His first name was Free.
Wow.
And his nickname was Freebird.
Freebird. That's awesome.
And I believe he was the one that gave
Free?
me the nickname Rico.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. He was like somebody else.
And I was
cool
so I
nickname.
remember. So we always have this discussion about middle school,
Yeah.
And Susan, it was like the worst years of her entire life.
I was taller than like everybody in this. I'm 6 feet
and
tall.
like she always talks about like, oh, everybody had like the worst middle school. And I'm like, I love middle school.
He
was
was
amazing.
like the king of middle school. I was awkward.
Whatever. You know, I peaked in 8th grade.
You did not peak in 8th grade.
And so
that's not true.
And so, but in 8th grade, I won the Harpeth Valley Athletic Conference Wrestling Championship.
Woohoo! 8th grade, baby.
For my weight class, and they had it was exciting, and so they had an assembly, and it was like a pep rally. I guess it was, I don't know what it was. It was some type of assembly, and they were like
Windsor Sports.
Yeah, maybe something like that. And they were congratulating. It was for different sports. So it was wrestling, and then like cross country or whatever it was, and then they're like, and you know, Brad Rodriguez won the blah, blah, blah. And I remember I was like up in the bleachers and I'm like running down and they're like, Rico, Rico. And I'm like, yeah, I did it.
That's awesome.
I was like king of the world, man. I thought,
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And then I went into high school.
I did not have that middle school experience. Show of hands here. Did you have a good middle school experience, or was it
middle school was the best.
Awkward and unfortunate?
Although I got kicked out of middle school the last day.
Oh, your dad still talks about this.
Yeah, that was bad move.
Yeah, well, it wasn't all your fault.
We'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
Nothing horrible happened. It was more silly shenanigans.
That's a story for another day.
But whatever. Yeah, no, I did not have. I mean,
nothing.
mine was okay.
Technically, I guess it would be illegal, but not in a bad way.
I mean, you're really like laying it out.
It's fine.
Drawing it out. Anyway, Rico. Well, you have an uncle named Rito. So Rito. It's very similar.
But his real name
is Rodrigo, right?
Is Rodrigo Rodriguez.
Yeah. It's a solid.
I mean, I'm sure like in Cuba, that's a fantastic name. It's kind of
Rodrigo. It's a cool name.
We call him Rito. All right, sorry. Let's go back here.
Back on topic here. What? I can't read any of it.
Taylor's suggesting like a middle of the road Bear brand, adequate, mediocre, average.
Good enough to get the job done.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's funny.
This is Katie. DIY Danny did their kitchen in Dynasty. What does Dynasty mean? Is that
in what?
Determine paint for in Dynasty? I don't know what that means.
Oh, that must be a paint color.
Must be a paint brand.
Dynasty? That sounds fancy.
Or,
no, hang on. Where's the comment? I can't see anything.
It's like a third up. Let's see here. When Isaac, go back and watch the instant replays of tool demos. Deluxe Diamond, James. He used Deluxe Diamond. What are we naming here? Are these like?
I'm looking it up.
So we've got Dynasty now and Deluxe Diamond.
I think Deluxe is a British brand.
He said Deluxe like with a U, D-U-L-U-X. I don't know if that was a typo or if that was. Oh, that was that.
U-L-U-X.
Diamond. Deluxe Paint. I guess that's a. Well, I think James is in Canada.
Ooh.
So. Deluxe. Yeah, we don't have Deluxe down here that I know of.
No, we don't have
I've
that.
never heard of that brand.
Where is that? Where is that from?
I don't know.
There's some fancy, as you would imagine, paint brands in Great Britain, because I listened to this podcast and these ladies were like from Great Britain and they'd be like waxing poetic about all these paint colors. I'm like, I can't get this.
I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Katie said she went to a parochial school. I'm very impressed that I actually knew how to read and say that word.
Good job, babe.
Because that was a weird looking word.
Parochial.
See?
I'm like saying pierogi or something.
So she said everybody was awkward.
Oh, at least you were not. You were in good company.
Yes.
It's Procter
light
paint.
Gray
like
and white and
Deluxe
magnolia.
Diamond is PPG.
Oh, well there you go.
Just so you know.
Well, what does PPG do? Do they do Porter?
Porter paint, yeah. That's like, because we've got one.
Porter Paint Group. That's what I think. Yeah, is that what PPG stands for?
I guess so.
Porter, PPG Industries.
Does it say?
It doesn't. It never
says it.
Porter Paint Group.
Canada.
That's what we're going for.
It says Canada only.
Scott didn't like middle school.
Scott
Isaac
liked middle school.
None of these people liked middle school.
I'm telling you, that is definitely the overall. Like, you are an anomaly.
An enigma.
You wrapped in what? Wrapped in something.
Wrapped in a mystery.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I didn't love middle school. High school was better, but not fantastic for me. I was not like the queen of high school. College was awesome.
I was from middle school to high school, that did not continue.
High school was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, I was just like, High school was fine for
I
me
slid
too.
in. I think I finished 20th. Top. So I was the 20th. Like they had the top 20.
In
you had
high
like certain
school?
little,
That's
you know,
awesome.
whatever.
That's a big achievement.
Yeah,
It's more than I ever did. I
fine.
mean,
It's great.
I dropped out of soccer my junior year of high school. So there you go. Because I had the heart condition, didn't know about it, and my coach was so mean. I mean, he was the coach.
That you were playing these ridiculous sports and not playing volleyball and basketball, it just still blows my mind.
Because all the mean girls played basketball and volleyball, and when I was in high school, I remember going to a boys basketball game, and the guy sitting behind the man sitting behind me saw me stand up, and he was the basketball or volleyball coach or something. He was like, "You need to play." He was like trying to hound me. I'm 6 feet tall. I was 6 feet tall at the time too, and I was just like, no, because I grew up with these girls, and so like I knew them well enough, and I lacked in confidence, honestly. Like in hindsight.
Do you need a hug?
I do. No, in hindsight, I kind of wish I had done it because I played volleyball when I was in college, not like really for the school, but like kind of like for the branch campus, and I did pretty well. I mean, because it was the first sport I ever played where I was like, wow, like because I have really long arms, I'm like, this is so easy. I can reach things and like stop things. So I should have played it, but I didn't.
Yes.
Anyway, but that's all right.
That's how
High
it goes
school was
sometimes.
fine. Middle school was weird.
Dynasty is apparently the creme de la care of bear. Oh, Dynasty, is that like above Marquee?
Oh, more than Marquee?
We have no
Get
idea.
out. It's been a while since we've painted.
We literally
It hasn't
have
been
no
that
idea.
long. Bear paint.
It's been a minute.
Bear
What's
company.
I'm
I
gonna
just
check
had no
real quick
idea. Oh, it's taking me to Home Depot. Go figure.
Of course, that's where it goes. We're just gonna check. Oh gosh, 21-3, Titans game.
It's been like that for a while. I've been checking.
Yeah.
Just so
Looks
you
like they're
know.
just into the third. So there you go.
Um,
The boys are still up.
yeah.
We let them stay.
They're
up,
in there
so
watching. Our daughter had to
they're
go to
living their
bed. She was
best life.
not happy.
No, she's not happy.
Too bad.
Yeah, awesome. So
Bear Deluxe.
what else do we have? I mean, I feel like this is a good place to wrap it. I think the questions have we've answered all the questions. So I think we're gonna wrap it and go watch the rest of the game.
We're gonna do that.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us. A big shout out again to Will for the PBRs. These are great. Look, these are like 16 ounces. I didn't even get through the whole can yet.
I know, it's a lot. I was thinking, oh, I should have brought water. Forget that. It's extra big.
It's extra big. PBR.
It was fun though. It was tasty. I mean, like, would you be converted?
PBR.
Would we start?
Pretty
this
big,
is why
right?
people are all into it, right? Pretty big, right? Is that what you said?
PBR, pretty
I mean,
big,
like,
right?
would you start drinking this over?
Yeah, I would drink this. Instead
Over
of Bud
Bud
Light. This has probably got more calories than a Bud Light, I would assume. I gotta watch my
Let's
girlish
see.
figure.
What's a bigger can? We'll have to figure that out. It's all right.
But if you've not seen
Anyway.
the floating shelf video, go check it out. We really enjoyed making
fun.
the video too. So I thought the video was pretty good. And thank you. There was a comment earlier, and I apologize whoever said that, but I forgot who it was, but that they enjoyed it. I think it was Scott.
Yay.
And we really had fun making it. So I think it's a pretty good video. If you've not seen it yet, go check it out. And until next time, get out there and build something awesome. We'll see you next Sunday, 8:30. All right, guys. Have a great week.